This time on DawgStrip, it's a mad dash. We have only 9 days to finish up Project Tetanus before we have to road trip it to the BC Gambler 500. Then, of course, take part in the 500-kilometer backroad rally. The rush is on. Hello, and for those of you following this project, welcome back. Now at this point we've got about 9 days that we can still work on it before we run out of time, but you're going to see us in a mad rush. Time to beat the clock.
Since we did not do much recording yesterday, let's do a day 1 recap. The broken windshield is out, the escape hatch is in, and the seat mounts are done. Now for day 2. Day 2 is front-end body work. We add Model A fenders to the mix as the rut rod theme gradually begins to reveal itself. This entire build was influenced by a vision, and whatever parts we came across to slap it all together. Next is the grill, apparently from a 1947 McCormick tractor.
So as you can see, we've been getting a lot done. Not a lot of recording, but you know what? When it's just fabrication work, it's long, it's tedious, but the outcome is worth it. Oh, so happy with that.
Today we work on the steering system. Before the cab was moved, this drag link went forward to the cab mounted steering box. Now, with the cab moved toward the rear, we had to reconnect the suspension to said box. For that, we ordered this, a 56-inch long drag bar. We also machined out the forward hub to flip the ball joint from the underhung to the overtop. All of that just to make this monstrosity travel and point where we want it to.
Moving right along, we focus on the fuel system. After getting the tank base fabbed up, we mount the tank. Not really sure what this tank was from, and it needed a small leak repair, but damn, it sure fits the bill. After getting everything hooked up, we flushed the system with fresh fuel. Now you want to dispose of that immediately because, you know, that actually looks like a nice, cool, refreshing Corona.
With the fuel system hooked up and flowing, it's time to make some noise. Fantastic! Music to the ears, although the lungs seem to be complaining. It's clear the engine is in dire need of some water, so the next day we move right along to the cooling system.
This radiator was from the 67 van, and after a few heat cycles, it was clear we had an issue. Of course, this means tearing it all apart again. At least this radiator was old and coppered, and we could solder up the pinhole leak. Now let's fill her up and see if it holds.
After giving Tetanus another fill of city tap water, we check for leaks. This time, all is well. Let's hope it stays that way.
We'll take this moment to cover a few completed items. This is the 2 1/4 inch completed exhaust system, with some used Flowmaster muffler we had laying around. These are the new shifter cables. With the shift column now behind the transmission, we had to run the cables in a large loop. Brakes. Brakes are good. Brakes are your friend. We also had a very late night completely rebuilding the front drum brakes. Let us reiterate, brakes are good. All right. Welcome back. Now, we have 2.5 days before the Gambler to finish this rig. So there's going to be a lot of frantic work, not a lot of filming, and maybe we'll explain a few things as we go. But come along for the ride. We'll see how far we get. Yay! Yay! What are you doing?
Having a fun time of removing U-bolts so we can put in the lift blocks.
Lift blocks. Tires are too big.
Yep.
Strong like bunny.
Strong like bunny. Now that the wheels are on the ground, we noticed the rear was sagging. So after getting some new U-bolts made up, we installed lift blocks to bring the rear back up to level.
Alright, it is Friday morning, and we thrashed late into the night last night getting things done on Tetanus. And unfortunately, because there's only two of us, that means not a lot of filming. So we're sorry about that, but we'll still try to make what we can of this. And we'll show you what we did yesterday. Now, we have to be on the road with Tetanus today, so I am sorry, still not a lot of filming, but we'll give you some recap stuff and maybe some reactions, you know, if it's on the road, once it's on the road, how it drives, if it drives, and all those glorious things. So here, let's take a look at the progress thus far. Boom. Tetanus. Alright, so there are two fenders. Fenders are good. We have headlights. Headlights are good. We have signal lights. Signal lights are good. We have a license plate and insurance. Horn. Grill of awesome. Now, this was the primary achievement of yesterday. This is the battery location and a bunch of its wiring. We have the solenoid. We have a voltage regulator. We have a horn relay. And a nice new shiny blueness, which would be a single-wire Chevy HEI distributor in a Ford 4.9 liter 6. So that is working. It's awesome. We don't know how to time it. We'll do that on the road. Alternator is working. It is producing electricity. And just, you know, a whole bunch of wiring nonsense. A windshield is in. This is glorious. This was a pain in the ass. But nonetheless, it's been cleaned. It's good. It's awesome. It is par for the course of everything else. But this came out of the other van. It is vintage and it's good. This side window broke yesterday, so we'll see if we address that. Unlikely. We have a speedometer. Yes, officer, we have a speedometer full of tie wraps holding it in place. The speedo cable. Oh, let's open our rear access. Alright, so the speedo cable is so long from the old design that it is coming up through the floor, looping itself around the entire dash, and then going back up to the speedometer from a 78 Ford Mustang. Yes, some good things came out of 74 Mustang. That speedo is one of them. Hopefully it's going to work and be somewhat accurate. We also have a rear license plate. Oh god. Okay, so what else? Spare tire mounts there with that and gets bolted down into place. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Vintage license. You can see that this windshield is at least from 1974 and at least older than that, and we saved it and it's still being used. So we also have a roof vent that got installed, you know, I don't know, a long time ago. Didn't film, whatever. So here we are. Oh yeah, electric choke, because we didn't like the old crap. So new electric choke, just to do its thing. Exhaust return plug has been valved into a valve, so maybe we can open that up while we're driving and make some weird noise. At the same time, it is also using the throttle return spring, so it's keeping the valve closed and keeping the throttle from driving us into a tree. I need sleep. Alright, so we still have much to do, and the Gambler isn't actually until tomorrow morning, like 8 a.m., but we want to have this thing done, go up and down the street a few times before driving an hour to the Gambler start location, and, you know, sometime in case things break down or hoses pop or belts throw or that kind of stuff. So realistically, it's 7 a.m. now, 4 hours of sleep last night, so if we're on the road at 7 p.m., that's a win. So that's the goal. Roads 7 p.m. It's good to have dreams. If not, what else can you break?
And now it's time to put in our sexy battery cover.
That is the bomb diggity.
And that's it. Building is over. Time to ease Tetanus out from the shadows and into the light of day. With everything we did, it wouldn't fit through the garage door. We ended up putting on the smallest tires we have, flattening them, thus allowing us to squeak through that opening. After that, it's an indie-style tire change in the pits before the first test drive.
Look at that sound. Let the air in.
And so it begins.
This right here was a huge achievement for us, going up and down the street for the first time ever. Clearly, far from flawless, but that ain't bad. It drives, it stops, and it kinda steers. After this, we toss our camping gear in the back and we're on the road by 8 p.m. On our way to the Gambler event, we hoped to be there before dark. That didn't happen, but you'll have to wait for a future video for that story to find out why. For now, we take a break from Tetanus. Next time on DawgStrip, we build another boat. This time a two-seater, with room for friends. After getting our hands on this pedal boat, we figured some modifications were in order. And by that we mean the addition of horsepower. Once the adequate amount of internal combustion has been added, we set sail for the high seas in Project Riverdog.
It's fine. The wheel is fine. Sorry.
This is why we can't have nice things.